Welcome back to Zodialogue. So in my last video, we talked about the skepticism around astrology, and Neil deGrasse Tyson had some strong opinions about it. He called astrology egocentric and mocked the idea that Mars could influence our lives, saying something like, "You think Mars gives a rat's ass about you? But hold up, if Mars retrograde is so egocentric, then isn't Neil's whole dismissal a bit egocentric too?" After all, it's a bit of a contradiction to assume the only things that matter are the ones we can scientifically measure. But that's a discussion for another time. Today, we're going to dig into Mars retrograde, and I'm going to challenge some of those myths around it. So let's break it down. What exactly happens when Mars goes into retrograde? Mars, in astrology, is the planet of action, energy, and desire. It's how we go after our goals, how we fight for what we want, and how we assert ourselves. When Mars is retrograde, which happens every couple of years for about 2 months, it appears to be moving backward in the sky. This doesn't mean Mars is actively doing something bad to you. Mars isn't out to get anyone, but it does mess with the natural flow of our energy. During this time, you might notice that your usual drive is suddenly lacking, or maybe you're feeling frustrated with delays, setbacks, or things not moving forward as quickly as you'd like. It's like the universe is hitting the pause button, and instead of charging ahead, you're forced to reflect. So when things go wrong during Mars retrograde, it's less about cosmic punishment and more about reevaluating your goals, your drive, and your actions. Now, let's talk about the myths. A lot of people think Mars retrograde is the reason everything goes wrong. And sure, if something does go wrong, it's easy to point to Mars and say, well, it must be Mars retrograde. But that's not how astrology works. Mars retrograde is not a reason for failure, it's a chance to take a step back. Reassess and reflect on how you're channeling your energy. Think of it like a cosmic checkpoint. Are you pushing too hard for something that isn't really aligned with your values? Are you trying to fight battles that aren't yours? Mars retrograde asks you to reflect on your impulses and consider if the way you're moving forward is truly serving you. It might feel like things are moving in slow motion, but that's actually a good thing. It gives you the chance to correct course before rushing ahead again. So Neil deGrasse Tyson says, Mars doesn't give a rat's ass about you. And in a way, he's right, Mars is not personally out to get you. But astrology isn't about taking everything personally or attributing all your problems to the planets. It's about using the movements of the planets as tools for self-reflection and understanding the energies at play. Mars retrograde is an opportunity to pause, rethink, and reassess. And let's be real, it's not about blaming Mars, it's about taking responsibility for your actions. If Mars is causing frustration, maybe it's because you're trying to push forward without enough consideration. And that's something we can all learn from. So next time Mars retrograde comes around, take a deep breath. Use the time to reflect, revise your goals, and realign your energy. It might feel like things are slowing down, but in reality, this period could be helping you course correct in ways you wouldn't have otherwise considered.